Hi, I'm Bonnie Kempke. Welcome to my studio and welcome to Quilting on a Thread. As you can see, we're out here in my cutting alcove, but I'm not going to be cutting anything. I'm going to be doing something a little different in this video than I normally do. Normally I show you how to do something or how I do something quilting related. This time I'm going to talk to you about what's keeping me from quilting. This is my sister-in-law's 50-year-old brother Pacesetter XL703. In its day, it was the bomb, and I really think it's still the bomb. It's an amazing machine. But about 20 years ago, she took it into the shop to have it worked on, and when it came back from the shop, it wasn't quite working well. And not being very mechanically inclined and also having some sight problems, she has some vision issues, she didn't know what was the problem. So when I brought it here to my studio, I opened up all of the various portals, because this comes off, this opens up, this is where the bobbin goes, this comes off, this comes off, this comes off. I was opening up all those things, looking into it, and I saw, well, even though it was stored in its hard case has foam siding on the inside, and that foam, being in the attic, degraded, and it then shed particles, and the particles were attracted to the oil, the machine oil and the gear oil, and so all of that stuff has to be cleaned out and reapplied. So one of the first things I noticed when I was opening things up is that her bobbin case, this is why her machine was not sewing. If you take a look in there, and those of you who've had this happen to you before, you know that she's missing that little backlash spring. Well, this is not a normal size bobbin, and so I couldn't just go to anybody and say, hey, I just need a backlash spring for a class 15 bobbin. This is a very unique sized bobbin, and so I instead had to find one, and I was happy enough to find one on Amazon, and there you see the backlash spring in there. So I have this bobbin, and I've been taking, like I said, some preliminary looks. And so those of you who are cutie quilters, you know that I have an engineering background, and so my nerdy little engineer inside is really excited to look at this machine and take a stab at getting this running. This machine has a lot of modern features that for us are kind of, we might find them laughable because everything on this machine is very mechanical, but it has a lot of modern features. The ability to drop the feed dog by going into darn mode, the ability to change the position of the needle position from right, left, or middle, the ability to change the stitch length and the stitch width using these two coordinated knobs. You have to select them together. The stitches are actually selected through a cam system, so instead of having a machine with a cam, select this that engages the cam system, and you use this knob to dial the cam that you want to use. It has a gear system and a clutch system, so like right now, the flywheel is driving all the gears. But if you wanted to fill a bobbin, you have to disengage the gear to get the bobbin to work, and then re-engage the gear so that you're back into sewing mode. Another interesting feature is the foot pedal and the power cord are both permanently attached to the rear of the machine. So it's not something you can replace. You have to take it all apart and put a new one in. This is a metal foot pedal. It's the same construction as the sewing machine. So our modern sewing machines, we have these plastic foot pedals and we wind up chasing them all around the floor. You are not chasing this baby around the floor because it sits down and it is hefty. It's there. It's not going to chase around a wood floor. It's not going to chase around a carpet. It's there. In looking at the machine and opening up its various portals and taking a look at the gears and things, I'm I'm really, my little nerdy engineer part of me is just really hoping that this will clean up easily and come together running right as expected. And so I'm hoping that in the very short future, I will do another video where instead of telling you why I'm not quilting, show you why I can get back to quilting, because I have this machine running and I'd like to demonstrate this machine to you. And a lot of its features that in its day were extremely modern, even though they're extremely vintage to us. 50 years ago, this was a really modern machine. It was the bomb, and I think that this little lady is still the bomb today. So I hope you've enjoyed listening to me vibe on about how excited I am to look at this machine, and I hope to see you again here on Quilting on a Thread. Bye-bye.